Good afternoon and welcome to the garden on today, February 24th and day 55 of the year 2021. And today we're talking about death. How do we take death? What does it do to us? And how do we continue? And what lessons do we learn from someone dying? It doesn't matter how much we know that death is inevitable and we all must leave this earth via that means. Whenever death comes, we are always brought low. Many times it hits us like a ton of bricks, often covers us so much and so heavily that we can't even see the light of day. And so we moan and we groan and we mourn and we're in pain and we grieve, sometimes in many instances even beyond the day of the burial. Sometimes the grief spans months and even years. And of course that's natural and expected because someone who we would have known would no longer be with us. But one thing is certain, and one thing that we never ever do is that we don't ever leave the corpse inside of our homes. We don't have that corpse sitting in our living room chairs, nor lying in our beds or be in the bathrooms. We don't jump into the grave at the burial site. We don't drown ourselves as we out at sea for sea burial, nor do we go into that furnace if it's a cremation. We always leave the site. And yes, we mourn, but we know that life continues. But what lessons do we learn from someone dying? In many instances, a death brings us together and we huddle to comfort each other. We unify to make all the arrangements and even to be of a strong source of support. And that's quite fine and that is expected and that's what it ought to be. But what impact does the death have and what lessons can we learn from death? COVID-19 would have taken so many persons out, millions of persons all over the world would have found their fate via COVID-19, and of course millions of others too would have died, whether it be by accidents or acts of nature or even other diseases. They would have left this earth. And we know that we keep mourning because they would have been a good part of our lives. But what I want to say more so today is that because we know of the unexpected nature of death, there is always a lesson. And so I'd just like to throw this out to us today, that we must try to reach out to people all the time, especially those that we haven't spoken to in a long time, or even if we had spoken with them recently. We almost must try to reach out. We always must try to reconnect with someone. We always must endeavor to be kind, be kind, be kind. And as much as it lies in us, we must try to be at peace with people. Choose our battles wisely. Use our discretion when to leave something alone and when to take it up. And those of us who tend to love to embrace that cloak of arrogance and haughtiness, it is time for us to throw it off and throw it away into that heap. Arrogance and haughtiness does only you good. It doesn't do good for the person with whom you interact. And you need to also walk in your divine purpose. As a human, we all have purpose on earth. So, knowing that death is all around and it can be our time, anytime, and also the time of someone else we know very well, anytime. Live well, live the best we can live. Live a full life. Walk in our divine purpose. Remember that there's a God. Be kind to each other. Don't be haughty and arrogant. And reach out, reconnect to someone else.